butterflies and dolphins. Hello to you all in your homes. I'm in my home, but I'm going to tell you a Mr. Jackson story. Yes. Who's in this box? And how do we get him out of the box? Can't hear you. Sing his song. That's right. So shall we do that now? Ready? Wake up, Mr. Jackson. It's such a lovely day. Wake up, Mr. Jackson. Would you like to play? Wake up, Mr. Jackson. We just want to say, wake up, Mr. Jackson. Would you like to play? Now, if you remember this, to get him out of his box, you've got to say, wake up, Mr. Jackson, in very, very loud voices. And because you're all in your homes and I'm in my home and we're a long way away from each other, then you're going to have to say with really loud voices. Okay, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then let's hear you all shout really loudly, wake up, Mr. Jackson. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I couldn't hear you. I really wasn't loud enough. You're going to have to really shout. Get your family to join in if they're there. Get your mum and your dad, whoever's there with you, to shout really loudly. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Wake up, Mr. Whoa, that was better. Oh, here he comes. Oh, Mr. Jackson's here. Who's making all that noise? Waking me up and... Oh, Mr. Jackson, you haven't got your clothes on. What are you doing? Coming out of your box without your clothes on? All these children, they've got their clothes on. I've got my clothes on. I don't come and tell you a story without my clothes on, do I? Why haven't you got your clothes on every single time? What are we going to do with you? And also, you're on YouTube now. You've got to have your clothes on, Mr. Jackson. Okay, well, I know you're not in the room with me, but we can still do the boxes. So, let's see whose name comes out of the names out box. And that person can help me to put Mr. Jackson's clothes on. Let's see. There's not many names left in here now because we worked through them all so well before. And the name we have here is Sylvester. Hi Sylvester, hope you're watching this because it's your turn to put Mr. Jackson's clothes on. And we're going to put Sylvester's name into the names inbox so we know he's had a turn. And very soon, because there's only one name left now, we'll tip all these back into the names out box. So everybody will get another turn. Now Sylvester, what you're going to do is you're going to put this on. Let me move Mr. Jackson's box off my lap for now. You're going to put this on Mr. Jackson's head. Okay, here we go. I know you're not here, so I'm going to help you to do it. Here we go. And I was thinking that whoever's turn it is to do Mr. Jackson's clothes, if you want to, you can think of the next story. So if you think of an idea for a story, here we go. Put Mr. Jackson's clothes on. Oh, well done, Sylvester. And now Mr. Jackson is ready to face the day and he is decent. So Sylvester, if you want to, you can come up with an idea for a story and send it to Chloe and she will tell me what it is. And we'll make up a Mr. Jackson story based on your idea, maybe. Okay, so today's story actually is called Wake Up Mr. Jackson. And unusually, it begins with Mr. Jackson fast asleep in his bed. There he is. I'll hold him up a little bit so I hope you can see him. So Mr. Jackson, can you stay there? So there he is, asleep in his bed. So Mr. Jackson was asleep, but it was a beautiful sunny morning and he was still sleeping. And his friends were outside in the garden and they thought, where is Mr. Jackson? Why isn't he awake? So the first of his friends, Dorothea B, decided she'd go and see if she could wake him up. Wake up, Mr. Jackson, she shouted through Mr. Jackson's window. But Mr. Jackson did not wake up. So Dorothea B flew back down to the garden. And instead, Linda Ladybird decided she'd have a go at waking up Mr. Jackson. So here she comes. And I don't know if you know, but ladybirds have got this beautiful pattern on the back. And did you know that that's actually their wings? And that opens out like that and becomes wings. So ladybirds can also fly. Yes, I can. Yes, you can, can't you? You can also fly. Yes, Sue, I can. Would you like to fly up to Mr. Jackson's window and try and wake him up? I will try. So Linda Ladybird flew up to Mr. Jackson's window. And she looked through the window. Wake up, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, wake up. But Mr. Jackson did not wake up. So then, Twinkle, the Easter Bunny, decided that she would try and wake up Mr. Jackson. Do you think you can do it, Twinkle? Yep, I sure do. Okay, well you're going to have a problem because you've got to get up to Mr. Jackson's window. How are you going to do that? Well, I can jump really high. Okay, let's see you. So Twinkle, boing, 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 jumped really high and landed on Mr. Jackson's windowsill. Whoa! She looked in through Mr. Jackson's window. Wake up, Mr. Jackson. Wake up, it's a lovely day. But Mr. Jackson did not wake up. So Twinkle climbed down and jumped back into the garden. What were they going to do? How were they going to wake him up? Finally, along came the very irritating Squeaky Squirrel. And the very irritating Squeaky Squirrel. Just stop it. Wait. Decided. No, come back. Sorry, kids. Sorry about this. Oh, sorry. Come back. Don't go into the. I'm sorry, children. Sorry. Squeaky. You're so naughty. Now stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Now you're making me cross. Oh dear. Look, Squeaky Squirrel. I'm sorry I was cross with you, okay? But you've got to just calm down. Or we can't tell the story, right? Now calm down. So, the very irritating Squeaky Squirrel climbed up the tree outside Mr. Jackson's garden. No, I'm not the tree, okay? I'm not the tree. I am not the tree. Climb up, pretend to climb up the tree. Climbed up the tree and then looked in through Mr. Jackson's window. And the very irritating Squeaky Squirrel said, which means, Mr. Jackson, please wake up. But Mr. Jackson did not wake up. What were they going to do? It was so beautiful. The day was sunny, the birds were singing, Mr. Jackson was still asleep. Then along came Mr. Jackson's very best friend in all the world. Have you got a really best friend in all the world? Well, this was Mr. Jackson's very best friend in all the world. Dippy dilly, I'm so silly. Dippy dilly, ha ha ha. Dippy dilly, I'm so silly. Dippy dilly, ha ha ha. Along came Dippy Dilly. And all the friends in the garden had told him that Mr. Jackson would not wake up. And Dippy Dilly was in a bit of a panic. Oh, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, he won't wake up. Dippy Dilly, what are you saying? I'm going to wake up, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, wake up. Sorry, Dippy Dilly, you have to slow down. We can't understand you. What are you saying? Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson, wake up. Okay, Dippy Dilly, you're just going to have to remember your ready list. But Dippy Dilly couldn't remember his ready list. I can't remember it. Okay. Can you help me to remind Dippy Dilly of his ready list, please? Okay, are you ready? Ready for the ready list? Here we go. Dippy Dilly, stop. See. Breathe. Soft and tall, and then go. So can we try it together? Can you say loudly? Ready? Stop. See. So Dippy Dilly started to look around. Breathe. And Dippy Dilly realised he hadn't been breathing, he'd just been too excited. So he breathed properly. And his head started to float up. Soft and tall. So Dippy Dilly let his head float up like a floaty balloon. And his shoulders melt down like runny custard. And then he started to be able to speak properly. He said, Sue, Mr. Jackson's asleep and he won't wake up and I don't know what to do. Well, Dippy Dilly, now that you've got your soft and tall body, why don't you really think about it? What usually wakes up Mr. Jackson? Oh, said Dippy Dilly, the children wake up Mr. Jackson. Can you help me, children, to wake up Mr. Jackson? Can you remember what you have to do? We have to go 1, 2, 3, wake up Mr. Jackson really loudly. Shall we try it? Okay, shall we do that with Dippy Dilly? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wake up Mr. Jackson! And Mr. Jackson did wake up. Thank you, Dippy Dilly, he said. Thank you for waking me up on this beautiful morning. And Mr. Jackson and Dippy Dilly went and had some breakfast, and then they went out for a walk, and it was a very beautiful day. So thank you very much, Dippy Dilly, for remembering your ready list and for remembering how to wake up Mr. Jackson. So now it's time to put Mr. Jackson back to bed. And in order to do that, I'm going to take off his clothes. And let's see who's going to do that for us, shall we? So, the last name in the names outbox. Who could it be? It's so exciting. And it is Dasher. So Dasher, Your name's going into the names inbox, so we know you've had a turn. And now if you'd like to help me to take Mr. Jackson's clothes off and to put him to bed, and also Dasha, you can think about a story you would like us to tell if you wish, and if you can send that to Chloe, your idea, then maybe we can turn that into a Mr. Jackson story. So that's Dasha and Sylvester. If you can think of any ideas for a story, it doesn't have to be the whole story, it can just be the title. If that's all you can think of, that's fine. So Dasha, now we've put Mr. Jackson back into his box. We're going to put his lid on. There we go. And I'm going to say goodbye to you all until next time. Bye bye everyone.